Good morning. Just reading 1 Samuel chapter 15 today. A very well-known story where Saul, the first king of Israel, is told by Samuel, God through Samuel, to go and utterly destroy the Amalekites. And near the start of the chapter, God remembers the Amalekites and says, "Now go and smite Amalek and just utterly destroy all that they have. Spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, oxen, sheep, camel and ass." So the instruction is quite clear. No one, human or beast, of Amalek is to survive this battle. And Saul gathers his men together. And what happens is they keep back the king. And the best of the sheep and the oxen, and they would not utterly destroy them. But everything that was vile and refuse, they destroyed. So Saul didn't do what God had told him to do. And it comes down, Samuel gets told this by God, that Saul didn't do everything he was supposed to. And look at verse 13. Saul said unto him, "Blessed be thou of the Lord, I have performed the commandment of the Lord." And Samuel says, "Well, what's this bleating of sheep and the lowing of oxen?" Meaning nothing should be alive from Amalek. And then Saul says this interesting thing. They have brought them from they have brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen to sacrifice to the Lord. And it comes down here, verse 21, but the people took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, and the chief of the things that should have been utterly destroyed. Saul's blaming this on the people. The king, the one in charge, is blaming this and saying that the people have kept it back. We're just going to offer it to God for a sacrifice, What a good thing. And Samuel says what is a very well-known verse, "Hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord?" Question? No, he doesn't. "Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams." And then it goes on down. And here's what I wanted to just give you today. Saul realizes he's sinned, sort of. And Saul said unto Samuel, "I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord and thy words." And why did he do it? "Because I feared the people and obeyed their voice." And it goes on. But look at that. I feared the people and obeyed their voice. Now, Saul's fearing of the people is going to lead to his rejection as being king over Israel. Saul simply not being the man, not being the king, and using his authority and saying, "No, this is what God's told us to do, we're going to do it." He listened to peer pressure and the people and feared them. And he had the kingdom ripped from him. He died a horrible death, all because he feared people. Now I'm just going to go Proverbs 29:25. Proverbs 29:25. A great verse about the fact that we should not fear people. All right, Proverbs 29:25. Let's call it after this. Proverbs 29:25. Here we go. "The fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe." Say that again. "The fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe." Isn't that true? Saul feared men and it brought a snare. He was unable to do that which was right. And the same goes today. If you're going out there, you're afraid of what people think about you, it brings a snare. Stops you from being fruitful for the Lord. Stops you from moving. You're always thinking about who you're going to offend and who's going to get upset by what you say. But you don't want to be afraid. There's another verse, I don't know where it is right now, but it says, "The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are as bold as a lion." Another great verse. If you're righteous, if you're doing right, nothing should stop you. Don't worry about what men think about you. Okay, last verse, Proverbs 5:22. We'll go 21. "For the ways of man are before the eyes of the Lord, and he pondereth all his going." Verse 22. The man's own iniquities shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be holden with the cords of his sins." Amen. So when you sin, it's going to become a binding cord on your own life. It's going to stop you. The fear of man bringeth a snare. So don't be afraid of what people think of you. Do what is right in the eyes of the Lord. Amen. God bless you.